Every year, millions of young people cross borders for education. But what they bring back is more than a degree. It's new ways of communicating, understanding, and connecting. Hi, I'm Faye, and this is my assignment for Global Communication and Culture. And today I will be briefly talking about how study abroad transforms communication and how global friendships survive distance, time zones, and culture. Some of us here are exchange students. Some of us here are international students. Some of us will be going back home in a few months or maybe even weeks. Some of us will be staying here for a few years. Some of us are still trying to find that place that we can call home. And for some of us, maybe we have already found that place. So let's talk about this in a more academic language. Intercultural communication scholars often describe study abroad as a cultural encounter. And there's this theory called cultural adaptation theory. It says that when we immerse ourselves in a new environment, our communication style stretches and evolves. And according to intercultural friendship models, meaningful friendships form when people navigate differences together. I think it happened and it's still happening for all of us, right? Because we are all Vigoran here, we are all foreigners here, and the friendship that we make are also not from our own country. We are all so different from each other, and we are constantly learning from each other about our culture, about our personalities, about our backgrounds. We are all coming from different backgrounds, and this is all helping us navigate differences, right? So, to understand it better, I spoke with two students, one international student in Taiwan, and the other one is the Taiwanese student who studied abroad. So, let's hear from them first. Can you introduce yourself first?
Okay. Hi, I'm Lala. I'm studying at NCCU as a master degree student.
So I know you have also studied abroad when
Yeah.
you went to Turkey.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
briefly tell me about your experiences in Turkey and actually what challenged you most when you first went there?
I was in Turkey in 2022 to 2023 for one semester. And because I was studied at a Turkish department, so I already knew Turkish. So when I was in Turkey, I think I didn't confront it so much language barriers, but it's a shock to me that because in Ankara, actually there is no one speaking English.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So you were there alone first, right? So how did you make your first international friends or Turkish friends there?
Because when I was at NCCU and I joined Buddy program that you can make international friends. So I already had a Turkish friend, and then because we have a lot of international students like us, so maybe first after the first reunion, then we just exchange our Instagram or something, then we kept in touch with each other.
So how often do you keep in touch with them, with your Turkish friends or other friends? Do you text every day or every week, or do you FaceTime each other or just follow each other on Instagram?
Most of my friends, we just follow each other on Instagram, and if they post something, stories, and I will reply. For closer friends, we do FaceTime sometimes.
Hi. I already know you, but can you just briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Louisa. I'm 23 years old, and I've studied abroad in Taiwan before.
So I want to ask you first, what surprised you the most about communicating in Taiwan when you first came here?
I think what surprised me the most was that I communicated in Chinese with my roommates. Even like I was not expecting that. I was expecting to communicate in English with most of the international students.
Did you experience any misunderstandings while you communicated in Chinese?
When you use English, there are also a lot of misunderstandings because people come from different countries and they have learned English in different ways, and they will sometimes just use their own grammar to speak in English, and then it can be difficult to communicate, but you will, like, in the end, misunderstandings can be resolved, but they do appear.
Yeah. So, how did you actually start making friends here?
I think the biggest part was the dormitory. I feel like I made all of my friends in the dorms.
So, how about communicating in Taiwan compared to your country, Germany? Was it any different culturally?
I think the people in Taiwan approach you a bit differently than I would say in Germany. If you don't know the culture, you would get scared when a German approaches you. But in Taiwan, they would always approach you, like most of the people would approach you in a very nice way, and they would ask you where you're from, and they would be very interested in you.
Listening to them reminded me of my study abroad experience here in Taiwan. I learned how communication goes beyond language, silence, small cultural signals, and everything actually. Because my friend group was so diverse. We were all coming from different places, and we all slowly adjusted to each other. We all slowly learned about each other, our backgrounds, our cultures. I can say it also helped me understand more about myself. And some of my closest friendships today were formed through these shared experiences of learning and adjusting. International friendships or global friendships don't end when the exchange year ends, right? They continue through messages, voice notes, and middle of the night calls because of the time zones. And digital communication creates what scholars call digital intimacy, closeness formed through everyday online contact. But long-distance friendship also requires emotional labor, right? Adjusting schedules, interpreting tone through text, and staying connected intentionally. I remember, and I still have the same hardship with my closest friend who I met during my exchange year. Our schedules don't meet up. She's working, I'm studying. We have 6-7 hours of time difference. So it's hard. But we want to have this relationship. We don't want to lose this friendship. Do you still keep in touch with the friendships that you made here in Taiwan? And how often do you still keep in touch with them? Obvious question.
I would say I made the best friendships I've ever had in Taiwan. So I do keep in touch with my very close friends, especially with you. Can I say that? We keep in touch like weekly, or like we message each other a lot. So we FaceTime and just keep each other updated. We also see each other in person when possible. And the same goes for another one of our friends. Like, I am in contact with her like every few months. We FaceTime, and we always like try to keep each other updated what's going on in our lives.
Cross-cultural friendships teach us empathy. They show us that the world is bigger and more connected than we imagine. We learn to communicate with patience, humor, and curiosity, and we intentionally do it. And these relationships also change how we see ourselves. They also teach us so many things about ourselves, not just other people. So, can you say going abroad and making international friends affected you or changed you? How did it affect you?
I think I was more like an introvert person, but right now I can be more extrovert, especially when I'm talking to foreigners.
So can you say having international friendships while you were studying abroad changed you or affected you in any other way?
I would say studying in Taiwan really affected me like positively in terms of friendships. Like the way that I've experienced the international friendships there was really unique, and I'd say very bonding and very intimate, I would say. It's very much different from what I've experienced in my home country.
Well, that was all. Thank you for listening, and thank you to my interviews for sharing their experiences. This project is dedicated to anyone and everyone who crossed the border and found a home in another culture, and to the friendships that continue no matter the distance.